We looked at Renko charts and a series of Facebook trades that were profitable using these charts. But will Renko charts also work with our trading method strategies for E-mini Russell trading? So that is the question that we're going to discuss on the Renko chart I'm going to show you in this E-mini trading video. So here's the chart, and you can see that it compares an E-mini Russell 360 tick chart with our regular method trading indicators to an E-mini Russell Renko chart with a 0.7 price brick size. The trading day is December the 3rd, and the swing starts right around 10 a.m. Central Time. Now, remember that the price indicators on these two charts are different. The tick chart has our direction channel indicator. That's the purple and blue dots. You can see the green and red channel. And the Renko chart has the new price reverse envelope indicator. The momentum indicators below the chart are the same as what we've been using. I did make the note on the previous video that the parameters for MEX and TTM are a little bit different on the Renko chart. Now, before going further, I need to show you another chart, and I want to point out a meaningless dot shift that is on the Renko chart. So look at the blue circle around the green shift dot, and then the blue circle that's on the momentum indicator. Now this is just a typical problem with indicators and retraces, especially, in a consolidation period. I think this is clear on the 360 chart. I also might mention that a slightly different indicator parameter wouldn't show momentum as being green or cause this. But, there is going to be an issue. That retrace to the top of consolidation takes the price brick above the midline and is just enough to turn momentum green. On the other hand, the upper envelope has clearly been in sell, and MEX has good downward slope. So this is what I mean when calling this a chart read that shows a meaningless reverse. And I'll also add, this is why our trading method doesn't use indicators alone as trading signals. Besides being aware of this, the indicator issue, also note that since Renko charts are intended to remove chart noise, consolidation periods that may be clear on a tick chart won't have the same look on the Renko chart. So, as we're using these more, as we're getting used to these charts, we are no doubt going to see, some situations like this. Again, I think they're meaningless, certainly when they look like the one on this chart. I also think they're, pretty easy to ignore. Okay, so now let's discuss the trades on this swing. Let's start with the 360 tick chart and the blue circle, blue dot. The two blue dots on the E-mini Russell Renko chart are, at the same time points. So the blue circle on the tick chart is what I would call a non-setup consolidation breakout. If I was trading that chart, my sell would be at the blue dot as a first continuation setup. Consolidation breakout does give a reverse in the sell, but then there is a retrace back to the blue line and the breakout support price that is now resistance. Sell the shift reject of this shift line with MEX flow. This is what we just discussed on the video that we did regarding, the price reject continuation trading setups. Now, I think the Renko chart makes a clearer pattern during this consolidation. You can see the purple squares I marked on the chart and how, it makes a real nice M pattern showing a double top and double bottom, chart structure. So then if you sell the triple break with the red envelope dots and MEX flow, you do get a consolidation breakout setup, at least, on this chart, and certainly compared to the 360 tick chart. So I would say the Renko chart, definitely makes a clearer pattern during the consolidation. Now, blue dot 2 on the Renko chart, which is the same as the blue dot on the tick chart, where you get the retrace, retest back to the midline area, which is the shift line on the 360 tick. Also note how you've got that slope, downward with the swing. I think that's important with these midline shifts, and rejects. So go ahead and sell blue dot 2 on the Renko chart as a good continuation add-on trade. And that's the trade that synced with the initial sell on the 360. Now we'll go to the yellow circles and that yellow dot. Now looking at the yellow circle on the 360T, yellow circle 1, now that's a trade that I will not consider taking. There is no setup past a channel breakout, and it's also a counter momentum extreme, and that is something we chart read as being a trade into a price momentum divergence. Now look at the yellow dot on the Renko chart, and this is that trade setup that I mentioned on the Facebook trading video, that first video using the Renko chart, that is very, very quickly becoming one of my favorite setups. Still have that downsloping midline with the envelope, and you get the midline reject, and I really, really like that. But the trade would be done, as a momentum in MEX extreme. Now, if I was only looking at MEX alone and the Renko chart, I'm not sure what I might have done. And I mentioned this in that first Renko trading chart video, that I had removed the momentum histogram from that Facebook chart. Yes, MEX is extreme, but at the time the trade would have been done, MEX had also been confirming the price lows, and it hadn't begun to cross. We've seen a number of moves where you can go through an extreme and stay there for, quite some time. I actually have the extreme lines on the Renko chart set at plus and minus 60. Well, those can go all the way to plus and minus, 100. So, 60 was a number that seemed to catch the majority of the extremes and the crosses. But anyway, with the momentum and also looking at the 360 tick chart, which I do have side by side, mention that also, that we'll want a time frame or tick chart, and Russell trading's always been done with tick charts, so we can get that actual price high and low. So it was really hard to separate. That's what I meant when I said I'm not sure what I would have done if I was looking at the Renko only, but I didn't do the trade. Now I want you to look at yellow circle 2. So the Emini Russell 360 tick chart did go to the PMD low, followed by a retrace to where momentum did flip green, and the chart was very, very close to reversing. And I say that because remember that we need a dot shift to purple on top, or excuse me, to blue on top. It always remained purple on top to, get what we would call a chart mode change. But even if the chart had shifted to buy mode, there, definitely isn't a buy setup there. Of course, using that tick chart only, I very well may have gone flat in this area. And, chances are I would have. But now look at the synced area on the Emini Russell Renko chart. This was a far easier trade hold using the slope of the envelope channel. It also never shifted. You got the MEX cross and the midline break though. So I did decide to exit my sell add-on. Now, if the initial sell was the only trade that was done, I do think that I would have held it at that point. Okay, now we'll talk about the next leg of the swing. I've still got the 2 blue dots left on the Renko chart. That yellow circle, like I had said before, was the exit of the blue dot 2, which was an add-on. So now when you look at the 360 tick chart, can you see the resumption to the sell swing after that retrace from the blue line that crossed MEX and took momentum green? I'm talking now, about the purple dot. Okay, I don't like doing trades like this. These are these horizontal breakout of the lows in this case. Could have been, of the high. It's just price extreme. Even with the triple bottom breakout, I never ever would have considered that if, the left purple square was being tested as a double bottom that broke out. Taking a trade like this, sure, I've done them, but I don't like them. Too many times this is that trade that, gives you that fake out breakout where, you get the triple bottom breakout, but, it goes a few ticks and then comes right back above the blue line. a lot of that I think's got to do with it being a breakout of the extreme, and the traders that are actually going long trying to pick the bottom there. When I look at the Renko chart, which is the yellow dot, that yellow dot and the purple dot are the same. There's certainly nothing at all I could see as a trade setup. So nothing was done there. And I would like to do a resumption trade. Why? Well, I had gone flat my add-on. If this sell swing is going to resume, going to go down again, and I've given up my add-on, if I have a setup, I want it back. So look what happens. You do get the breakout, but you don't come back above the blue line. All right, instead it becomes a shift line. After the blue line breaks out of support, you see the shift to resistance. You see the reject. The reject is with MEX flow. So I can take that sell as a swing resumption, swing continuation trade setup. It's the purple dot, it's the resumption. The blue dot is the continuation of the resumption. Again, I feel I have a trade setup there. Now that trade syncs with the blue dot 3 on the Renko chart. So I did this trade as an add-on to the blue dot 1, which had always been held. Again, it was the blue dot 2 that had been exited at the yellow circle. So this gives me the add-on back. And the trade, just to discuss it further, the trade was with MEX flow. That's for sure. But the retrace from the extreme, talking about when, MEX momentum had gone extreme up to the yellow circle, that retrace was so shallow that, it was actually crossing back below the extreme line. So, okay, I can't say for sure what I would have done with the Renko chart only. This, momentum chart read is, so ingrained with what we've discussed and what I've done for so many years. This is new. For sure, I'm liking it. And, I see using it a lot. A lot of potential here, but, still got a lot of ingrained chart reads. So, would I have done that with the Renko chart only? Can't positively say. But, also having the 360 tick chart up to trade with, I did the trade. Now, I have to say, I do like this synced combination of this, simplicity of the Renko chart. With the tick chart bars to give the prices, gives another view of the trading area. And, after I did that first video, if you've looked at any Renko charts, sure I don't have to tell you how sometimes you just feel like you're staring at a chart with the market closed. There are times where that sucker just doesn't budge. Now, that's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It's like, is anything happening? Well, the tick charts obviously help show you, more activity. Well, clearly, this was an excellent Emini Russell sell swing. It has gone down from, let's see, the initial trade to the low point on the chart. It's a little bit more than 10 points without a reverse. And this was over like a 2.5 hour period. Okay, there was 3 trades taken, and I'm laughing here. Sure that y'all, or a lot of you at any rate, remember some of the chat room days. 2.5 hour period, 48 tick chart, 120 tick chart. Get a 2-way trading day. Those days go down, 3 points, go up 3 points, go to, down 3 points, whatever. Just continued reverse moves as opposed to, extended consolidation. 2.5 hours, those tick counts, 15 trades easy. So, that was one of the reasons too why, I did that for so many years. So many years. I started trading the Russell itself in 2004 to like 2011, and was doing future or index futures trading from 97 before that, and I just very simply didn't want to do that anymore. I was loving the options, I was loving the position trading, but the E-mini Russell was hugely profitable trading. So, I like this. Well, I, always use this 0.7 Renko, which is pretty equivalent to a 360. I might bring it down a little bit. Maybe a 0.5 is more similar to a 240, but I'm not going faster than that. And, my objective, and that's, what I mentioned about, the size of this swing, 3 trades taken, and there was a 4th setup that I liked, but I didn't do. I discussed the momentum there. That's what I want from the Russell. I want to get some Russell trades done, but, I don't want to just be staring at a Russell chart, getting ready to take that next trade. I like this pace. Might I get it, a couple trades where there would be more trades. Of course, a couple trades that lose, a couple small trades, but, ideally I'll be in this big trade if it occurs, plenty of days where the Russell, the entire range isn't as big as this swing, and they're not going to give that much. But yeah, I like the idea of taking a few trades and seeing if one of them turns into a nice big trade. So yeah, we know these swings that are this size, they don't reverse, aren't typical, but of course they happen. And if they're not 10 points, hey, how about a couple of 5-point swings, whatever. Just something that continues for an extended period of time that doesn't involve, many trades, much maintenance type of thing. I think that's the beauty of this Renko chart and getting used to them. That really wasn't the point of the video, to show you this swing. Certainly not the point of my opening question, which is about whether we can trade our method trading strategies on the E-mini Russell using the Renko trading charts. So again, with the strength of the Renko charts being trend following, removing price bar noise from a chart, what I'm referring to when I'm saying the simplicity of these charts, they have worked well for directional trading, including doing add-ons to the bigger moves, which I think is a key part of directional trading. But, on the other hand, I've only been doing this for, like a couple weeks before I felt, comfortable enough at what I was saying to do that first video and bring this to the group. So certainly the key will be how these charts do work during tighter swings, or periods of more extended consolidation and ranges, especially compared to the tick charts that we've always used. Now, I'm not saying how they'll work during these periods in terms of actually being able to trade the periods. I want to see whether the Renko charts will help keep us flat during consolidation. And this is certainly for any underlying that they're used for. But then help us with entries and showing the transitions out of consolidation. So I'm going to end this video here. I'm looking at some charts from another couple days that I have started putting together, some with some consolidation periods, some with some more modest swings, and some with some great swings. The day after this video, this was 12/3. Well, on 12/4, there was a sell swing that easy to enter, easy to stay in. Damn thing went, I think, like 17 points. So there you go. I am finished, and I will talk to you all later.